Welcome into my channel. Thank you for being here and sharing your beautiful energy. I've already cleared your space. I'm sharing from my heart for the highest good of all. I invite spirits of the light for whatever messages they'd like to send through me. I'm always learning, always listening, and sharing whatever comes through. I received this prayer of peace, and it came through as prayer. It could be for you meditation or mantra. It doesn't have to be prayer, however it feels right for you. I welcome clarity and calm into my energy and my surroundings. My thoughts move with ease. My path unfolds in alignment with what supports me. My comings and goings are peaceful. I am held in rest, and I awaken renewed. Feel free to take that and make it your own. I offer it to you in this reading. The other things that came through, sacred geometry has been coming up, not in great detail, but just like peeking itself in. And then I was guided to use this deck, which has the triangle on it. And we got the triangle in a couple of other readings. And so it feels like one of those threads that just keeps weaving itself through. And even though each message is meant to stand alone, there are those common threads that weave through. And this seems like one of those. So it came through with this message of embodied knowledge and then experience becomes wisdom. And so this is how you receive from the universe, spirit, your guides. You receive first an embodied knowledge. You'll have an experience that becomes wisdom, and so it goes. And then there's this way of experience, the recognition of the experience, and then you get the language for it. So you are often backing in rather than what other people do, which is going in linearly. So you're more in a spiral, like we've been discussing with time. It's the spiral of time. That's also part of sacred geometry. And so you have the experience, you recognize through pattern recognition, however that works for you, and then you come upon the language. So you're not coming upon a concept and trying to fit yourself into it. So I don't know if I'm doing that justice, and then there was spirit, mind, body, and how that's all connected. It goes around and around. Something affecting your spirit affects your mind, affects your body. Something affecting your body affects your spirit, affects your mind. And so all of these need to be considered. The barred owl visited this morning, and it brought the message of look beyond the surface and listen inward. So those are the messages. And then we have this rock, faith over fear, with an arrow going forward. Arrow has been another theme that has woven its way into several of the messages, and with the message of being on target, that you're on target, on the right track. The wolf and the lion are here, and then I have this selenite wand and also dandelion, where others see a seed or a weed. You see a flower, you see possibility, and then this symbol. Again, these are things that I've found outside on walks. So I offer them here for whoever they're meant for. It could be as a gentle confirmation that this reading is meant for you. And these decks wanted to be combined. So we have the Lightwork decks again. Combining them has made them a bit clumsy, as you can see. So these fell out. We're going to take those. Then we're going to take a card from this deck. Card from the universe has your back. I hope you're doing well out there today. Please take what resonates from my readings and leave the rest. If you're arguing or trying to make it fit in any way, it's not your reading. It's just not the day for you and this channel anyway. It's the day for you, but let's say it's not the day for this channel. Okay, how can I get these better in the frame? I'm gonna have to move the camera a little bit. Okay, and a starseed card. Okay. I remember you have a soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. She's looking into the water. She looks like she's in a planning phase of working out what is her destiny. She's been living the fated life, but she's working on her destiny plan, her soul plan. She's in this pink, pretty soft dress. Let's see what pink means. Bear with me a second. Nurturing affection. Inner child compassion and love and healing softness. The inner child again today. Pink is often the color of little girls. She remembers being a little girl. She's looking in, she's maybe scrying in the water. Her memories are coming through in that way. Maybe you scry through a crystal ball or through water. This makes me think her heart chakra is being activated while she's doing this work, remembering her soul plan. She's called. She's being called. Her soul gifts and training are calling her. Maybe this is what she's seeing through the water. She's sitting here. She knows she has a soul plan. She's being called to it. Look, the pink goes from light pink to this fuchsia color. So this is the child version. This is the woman version. Stepping through the door, not quite, but about to. She has her shadow behind her. So you've been doing inner child work, coming upon some shadows. But this is not a lot about the shadows. Not yet, anyway. They're not they're not here, so you've left them behind. So the door is open to you now. Now that you're remembering, you're opening new doors. I'm noticing the rectangle here. It looks like a picture frame. I'm also noticing there's like a city behind it. So you could be traveling to a new city to start your work. You're being called to another location. Another country. Here's the whale. Yesterday, we had the message that the light worker animals, mammals, they had shown up, and I said, except for the whale. And now here's the whale. We have this whale and the orca whale. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Here she is in her mind's eye, diving deep into this water, into the emotional realm. But there's a lightness to this. There's almost like a completion, like a tenderness, a sweetness, a love. This is about maybe connecting to the good memories, the things that you're going to take with you into your calling. Yeah, so you're becoming an elder, someone that others can look up to. You're stepping into that role to share your song, your frequency. And that ties into something that I didn't know if it was for this reading, but I think it is. Because it ties back to the movie Contact, which was also in yesterday's reading. And like I said, these readings stand alone, but they have threads that weave through, so I'm honoring those threads. And this is what came through as well in my meditation. And like I said, I wasn't sure. I was like, is this just remnants of my memory? But with this frequency coming through, this frequency of sound, it's still leading back to the listening, the movie Contact, how she was listening for the right frequency, and then it flows into this of Arrival, the movie, and the way that we can assume negative intent in things, groups, and ideas we don't understand. And the message is to pause, seek to understand. We often seek to be understood, but this message is to seek to understand before making judgment or taking action. And in the movie, the beings that were visiting kept using the word weapon. And so the world was ready to go to war because they thought that the alien beings were bringing weapons and were going to try to destroy the earth. But there was the one character, the main character, she spoke language of patterns and frequencies, and that's like a sacred geometry type of emotional sacred geometry, which she spoke. She had visions, she had memories that tied to dreams, and she could like see the future, but she didn't exactly know what she was seeing. And so she's the one who sought to understand, what does this mean? I don't think it means weapon. And so in the end, I don't want to ruin a movie for y'all. I might be ruining movies. What to do about that? Okay, I'll take that under advisement. But anyway, so in the end, it turns out they weren't there to take over or cause harm. They were actually there to help the earth. So this might be an example for me of, in my willingness to try to help, I might have just ruined the movie for you. So I apologize if I did that. And that ties back to the message of the chicken and the egg too, a little bit for me. So, and then the last thing that came through was the book, The Four Agreements. I believe that's by Miguel Ruiz. Don't quote me on who the author is, but I think that's who it is. But the book is called The Four Agreements, and one of the four agreements is to assume positive intent, unless proven otherwise. So maybe that all has some significance for you. I hope you've already seen the movie and I didn't ruin it for you. Now I feel bad. Gosh. Okay. So sharing your song, tuning to the right frequency of sound, and that means in order for you to receive your guidance, you need to have a certain frequency, attune to the certain frequency where you receive your guidance. And that's a inside job. So that's where this message may be significant, listening inward and also looking beyond the surface, because both of those things are needed to tune into the frequency of your specific song, sound, the guidance that's coming into you. And then when you're sending your message out, you tune into, is it a different frequency? I guess it's people who are tuned into the same frequency will hear your sound. I guess that's how that goes. So, like in the movie Contact, when that sound was floating around from Vega and Jodie Foster just happened to be listening. So who knows how long it would have floated around until somebody found the right frequency. We, the Hathors. Here we have these beings in front of these pillars with, again, echoing this rectangular space, this rectangular door. So we've had repeating themes of spheres, wholeness, oneness, and now we have this theme of the rectangular door space, both with pleasant colors on the other side, the blues, purples, crown chakra, third eye chakra. I'm hearing throat chakra as well. That ties into sharing your song. So we have the blues. Deep love, mother's milk. I have the mother weaving through again today. Mother's milk. Maybe you're working on a mother wound. Maybe that's been something with the milk again. We had the mother and milk the other day. Birth as a portal. Birth as a portal of human life, as birth as a portal of ideas, Empress energy, mother's milk. Mother's milk is more about mother's love, deep love, not about mother wounding. I suppose it could be about that, but more about mothering yourself, being the mother you wish you had. Or maybe you remember good experiences with your mother, and those are what you're tapping into. This reading almost feels like somebody who is close to their mother. Maybe their mother has passed and they were really close to her and they miss her a lot. So it's soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. Grounding, number 6. Here we have the sphere, earth, wholeness, oneness. It's all connected. We're all connected. We have the tree of life with divine guidance. And look, earth is supported. I'm seeing hands here with the universal support. Grounding. Grounding your soul plan into your everyday life. Maybe you've been doing a lot of meditating on it, working on it in the mind space. Now it's time to ground it down. You've tuned into the frequencies, you've received your downloads, and now it's time to ground it into practice. You've been called. Yeah, you've been called by the frequency. You've remembered. And now it's time to share your song. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Wow. Okay. Look beyond the surface. Listen inward. The barred owl. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. So if you feel yourself being triggered, I feel like most people know what being triggered is, but I also feel the sense that maybe someone doesn't. Maybe you haven't heard that language, even though it's really popular out there in the world and on the internet. Triggering is when something comes up and something happens in your body, or you have a reaction that seems out of line with the experience. And you might want to blame yourself for that. Like, oh, I was overreacting, or oh, I made a big deal out of nothing. I made a mountain out of a molehill. Maybe you've been told those things, but those are your body being triggered, your mind being triggered. Something that's happened in your past, your body's remembering it, and you're having a reaction to it. So true healing occurs when you give yourself permission to look beneath the triggers, to notice. Here we have this. You have the experience of, let's say, a trigger. You recognize it. Oh, that's a trigger. You get the language for it by remembering. And then, so it goes with each time it happens. And triggers, they can be difficult to uninstall. And I don't guess the goal is necessary to uninstall them. You just notice them, you recognize them, you have language for it, and that opens you up to new experiences and frees you up to not be so affected by those triggers. And here we have the sacral chakra, the second chakra, the color orange. I encourage myself to express my sensuality and emotions creatively using all my faculties, including touch, voice, actions, and creative abilities such as art, craft, music, acting, cooking, gardening, and writing. I practice being aware of and enjoying my senses being nourished and stimulated by the natural world, such as by landscapes, people, weather, animals, aromas, and sounds. So we have sounds again, and about being aware of your senses, your triggers. And these two cards kind of go together with color. So the sacral chakra, sensuality. So something might be significant with you about that. Oh, look, this tree is this color too. The opening up of the sacral chakra. And Gaia, connect to the pulse of Mother Earth. She will guide you through this time of change. There we go. Mother Earth, Gaia. Mother Earth is protected. And here we are on it. Here you are. You're this beautiful tree, your sacral chakra opening. You're following your calling. I love how the colors tie together. Thank you for being here. I hope this message was helpful, and I'll see you soon.